My roommate kept calling my boyfriend our boyfriend, but when she showed up in nothing but a bathrobe trying to come on to him, I decided it's time for her to find a new place to live. I, 19 female, have been dating my boyfriend Will, 20 male, for about 6 months now. I have been in relationships before, but this is definitely my first serious and healthy one, and I'm really happy with him. We met in our hometown, but we go to different universities that are about 2 hours apart. However, we try to see each other whenever we can, maybe about every 3 weeks. Usually, Will come and visit me, because 1. He has a car, so it's cheaper and more convenient for him, plus bus routes between our cities no longer exist since Greyhound shuttered, and 2. A lot of his courses are still online only, whereas I have in-person lectures, and 3. My house is a lot nicer than his. Whenever he visits, he stays for 4 to 5 days, which my roommates are okay with. He's also very nice and helpful. If I'm doing chores, he'll help, or he'll help take out the trash, wash dishes, or make me breakfast, etc. One of my roommates, Cass, 19 female, was dumped near the end of September, and since then, I felt like she has been weird with Will. A few examples. 1. Sometimes he'll cook for me if I'm busy at school or working late at the lab, and oftentimes he'll make enough for my roommates too. Almost every time this happens, Cass makes comments about how he's so sweet and that she wishes she had someone like him and how her ex could never. Will and I usually reassure her and say she'll definitely find someone who'll treat her right, but she just looks at him expectantly. Expecting what? I don't know. 2. When he helps with manly stuff like taking out the trash, installing a hook in my room, moving heavy things, she always makes sure to linger around and comment about how strong he is and how I'm lucky to have such a fit partner. 3. Whenever he visits, we literally can't avoid her. If we go out, Cass will ask to come with. My roommates and I use an app that tracks our location for safety reasons, and when I go out with Will and don't tell her, she'll usually text me asking me where I'm going, what my plans are, if I want to hang out, etc. We try to stay in my room, but if Will goes into the kitchen or something, Cass will always happen to wander in. We even have to lock my bedroom door when we sleep to make sure she doesn't come in. 4. I'm not much of a drinker, but after our midterms, Cass wanted to have a little thing with just the roommates. It was fun. We drank a little and watched movies. I'm pretty lightweight, so I got sloshed pretty fast, and at some point I was calling Will, and when Cass found out I was calling him, she was like, "Is that Will?" and kept ripping the phone from my hands very aggressively. She's a lot stronger than I am, and really loudly started talking about her intimate life and asking him about his, saying shit like, "Make sure you hit it deep." This is pretty in character for Cass, who claims to enjoy making people uncomfortable and makes these kinds of comments for shock value, but I felt like she should have turned it off around my boyfriend. She was only tipsy at this point, not really drunk. Overall, anytime he's nice to her, she'll say things like, "Haha, it's almost like you're my boyfriend," and whenever she refers to him around me, she'll call him our boyfriend as a joke, but I still feel weird about it. Will finds this all very uncomfortable and tries his best to avoid Cass as best he can or shut her down when she makes those comments. I'm not sure if I should bring it up with her, because on one hand, I'm very uncomfortable, but on the other hand, I feel like she'll just deny everything or say it's all for jokes and maybe get hostile with me. Any advice appreciated. Update. Hey there, a couple people were asking for an update, so here it is. I also found out this post blew up on TikTok, which is pretty funny because Cass has a crippling TikTok addiction. I read pretty much all the comments, discuss stuff with Will, and we decided that I'd try bringing it up with my other roommates, and if the behavior persisted while he was here, we'd try our best to shut the behavior down jokingly or by using social pressure. To give an idea of the timeline, I made my original post under a week before he was supposed to visit. So the following things happened. Before his visit, I was alone with one of my roommates, Jen, and I started to bring up Cass's behavior around Will. I didn't even get a sentence in before Jen stopped me and said, "I know. She's been weird." Apparently, Jen and our fourth roommate Eva have discussed this before, but they weren't sure if I even noticed because I didn't seem to react. Jen is definitely the closest to Cass. We all went to high school together, but I was only really friends with Eva at that time. She said she brought it up privately with Cass after Will's last visit, and Cass just did that thing where she talks and incoherently defends herself. Eva and Jen agreed to step in if crap got out of hand with her. Cass was very excited for Will's visit, and would say stuff like, "Oh, I can't wait to see him," or "just a few more days." I have a test from 7 to 9 p.m. on his second day here, and apparently she talked to Jen about picking out a movie for the two of them to watch while I wrote my biochem test. She settled on Sinister 2 for anyone wondering. Jen said that she was out of line, but again, Cass just incoherently defends herself. Every time she made comments like that, my roommates and I would just silently give her a look and say, "Okay, anyways," and change the subject, which seemed to at least make her self-conscious. During his visit, Cass was all over him as soon as he got here, pouting and saying, "Where's my hug?" Jen hugged her instead, and we used this time to escape into my room. Lol. Day 2 rolls around, and as soon as I'm out of the house, she tries to get Will to watch the movie with her, saying she really wants to watch it but doesn't think she can do it alone. Will politely declines and continues playing video games in my room, and she leaves. Throughout the rest of the visit, I'm firm with her, telling her she can't come on our dates, saying she's being weird when she makes comments about how hot he is or how he's our boyfriend. Will has also done what one commenter suggested and just point blank say that he's my boyfriend and that he'll never be hers. At some point, he's so aggravated he stops talking to her or acknowledging her at all because he was worried he would yell at her. I've never heard him raise his voice before this. As time wore on, I feel like she got increasingly desperate for Will's attention. This is the absolute craziest part. Just now, while I was showering, Cass went into my room, where Will is, in her underwear and a bathrobe, saying she knows he's playing hard to get but that he can't resist her, barf. Will started yelling at her to get the heck out, which alerted myself and my roommates. Eva and Jen dragged a tearful Cass out of my room. She even called me a skinny bitch on her way out. I think they're going to drop her off at a friend's house tonight. I'm just floored. I really did not expect her to go nuclear like this, but goddamn. Update 2. I saw some questions on my first update, but my post was locked before I could answer, as that was a pretty busy night, so I'll do my best to answer them now. Why did I need to lock the door when I slept? Basically, Cass would just come in and bother us, usually when she suspected we were making love. Even if we were just chilling or sleeping, Cass would come in and just talk at us. Sometimes she'd switch it up and just be crying. At first it seemed pretty harmless and we'd soothe her, but I grew weary as she never took these problems to our roommates. Why did Will keep coming over? As I said before, transportation between our universities no longer really exists unless we have a car. My family is not very well off, so me getting a car is not feasible, and honestly before this visit, it wasn't the biggest deal. She was just a little annoying, but it wasn't worth Will driving over 4 hours plus me missing school. So on to the update. I talked with my roommates, and Jen called Cass's mom. As pissed as I am, I'm obviously very concerned for Cass, as even though she wasn't the most pleasant person before, none of us could have expected her absolutely unhinged behavior. Cass has gone back home with her parents now. I haven't pried, so I don't know exactly what their plans are now or how she's doing, but it seems like she'll be away for a while, as her parents came back to pick up almost all of her belongings. They'll continue to pay her share of the rent and even left some apology pastries, which was very nice of them. As awful as that experience was for Will and I, we ultimately decided not to file any kind of complaint or restraining order for the time being, as her parents seem to have the situation under control, and we didn't want to drag the issue out longer than it needs to be. I hope this is the final update. Thanks for following my story. Update 3. I wasn't really planning on making another update, but I saw that a lot of people were asking for one, though it is kinda boring. Will and I are still going strong and we're completely safe. I haven't heard from Cass since, but she still talks to Jen occasionally. From what I gather, the stress of school plus her breakup exacerbated some underlying issues which caused her to snap. I believe she's in an inpatient psychiatric facility, though it's unclear how long she'll be there or what exactly is going on with her. Her parents also suspect she may have been self-medicating with drugs, but it's nothing more than a suspicion at this point, and regardless, she's definitely clean now. Sorry this one was kinda boring. Unless something else happens, this'll probably be my last update on the situation. Thank you for your interest and well wishes.